Guys, we are here today to delete some of this bull crap I don't want on this Jeep. I thought about it and I've got a few plans on what I'm wanting to do here as far as cooling and different things like that. So I'm getting rid of the AC. I don't want it. I don't use AC, so I don't need it. I'm in Arkansas, but I never use it. I don't know, I guess I got used to it, and I know I'm almost 40, but it is what it is. Plus, these things are notorious for overheating anyway, so it's just better to have it off, in my opinion, as far as what I want to do. I mean, I don't blame it if you want to have it, but plus it makes everything else to get easier too. So here's what I'm doing. I actually took the cruise control off too. I don't use cruise control. I never have, really. I'm a hillbilly, I guess, but my wife uses it, but I don't. So the cruise control apparatus is this thing right here. Mounts right over here on the side. Swings over, goes right up here your throttle body. And then you got a vacuum line that runs to it right here off your canister. And you'll just plug that up. And you'll disconnect the power to it, which is right here. And then next, I'm going to take the compressor out and run in a idler pulley. All this, tie all this off, and tape it up. And just make sure that this little apparatus here, I guess, is a vacuum switch of some sort. I'm not sure exactly what it's called. Evaporation service port, regulated pressure only. I want to get rid of the AVS because I like AVS, but I did an axle upgrade and I don't have it, and it's just not a necessity on this vehicle. So it's in my way, but I've got to figure out on how to delete it properly and go from there. So I've never really done that before. Learning things as I go, just like the rest of us. So I did get my pipe bender in today, so I'll be making a video on that, but I won't be using it for a while, just like everything else. This is 1678 Hayden, so I'll be putting it in, and what I'm going to try to do, we'll see how this goes. I'm going to try taking this one off, put my new one on after I take the condenser out for the AC, right over the top here, or over the top where the condenser is on the fan side, clutch fan side, so it's got constant airflow. Try to relocate my radiator and everything and bring it up towards me so I can make room for a ZJ fan clutch. Don't know if it's possible yet, but I'm going to try to see if I can do it fairly easily. Stick with me. I'm back. So I went to Harbor Freight, got a few things. I'm going to try to be doing axle building and whatnot, and I am in the middle of putting this transmission cooler in. And what you're going to need, if you get the kit that has it's 1132, you're going to have the hose. You're going to need 5/8 hose clamps right here, up there, and you're going to need a 3/8 to 3/8 fitting, basically this fitting right here, to bypass, well, to add it. And if you don't want to bypass it, it's up to you. Give a big shout out to Peter Driscoll on the Cherokee forum, kind of just being, he knows his crap. He was telling me that just to bypass the cooler on the radiator, even though this is a brand new radiator, 3-core radiator, all TIG aluminum. He's just said, why chance it, basically throwing your fluid in with your radiator fluid, and it doesn't really do much anyway, so just bypass it. So I actually went ahead and I cut the rubber. Well, haven't done it yet, but you can see right here, I'm going to be cutting this line right here that goes into the bottom of your radiator cooler. I'm just going to cut it back to rubber. I'm going to put that 3/8 to 3/8 end in a hose clamp. It's low pressure anyway. And then I'm going to do this 3/8 to 3/8 adapter like I did there, and then tie it right into my cooler, which I'll be putting right here in front of the radiator. When I get ready to do that, I'm still wondering about this mod, if I can actually pull my radiator forward some. So I appreciate everybody's info, because I am Mr. Know-It-All. I'm just a guy just trying to do projects like everybody else, and I like to help people out, and likewise, it's always nice to be helped out. Thanks, Peter, and thanks for everything. Some degree, and you can look at my beautiful welds, because I had flex wire and I just can't weld with flex wire. Anyhow, this is what I did, and it's a lot of work for just 1/4 of an inch basically of difference, so I can run a Xj fan clutch. But it should work and not be any problems with it. It's just 1/4 of an inch. It's not like it's an inch or 2 inches. I put the Hayden cooler right there. I went ahead and ran the hoses, and I gave them some slack for now. I may shorten them up later, but I went ahead and gave them slack for now. I bypassed the cooler on that radiator and just went straight over to this, and that's it. Zip tied that into the rad. I went ahead and welded washers down here, and then they were the same diameter, 5/8 of the rubber 5/8 hole that goes down through. So I just basically did that. Instead of pulling the whole radiator out, I just moved the radiator back, welded it, and kind of just put them back on. And like I said, I used a hole saw, and that's why it's off a little bit. Could have done a prettier job if I just removed the radiator, but it's hidden. It's not a big deal. So also, to do this mod, you got to move it back. I kept everything in the original spot up here, except I drilled new holes right here and right here, and actually cut out this spot right here, because it raises. It's got a raised spot, and that bumper for the top of your radiator post won't fit through unless you cut out those spots. So they're cut out, and you can see it's about 1/4 of an inch basically is what I moved it. I have a 3-core rad, and that was the reason why I wanted to run the Xj fan clutch. I wanted to run a 3-core radiator, and I wanted to run the tranny cooler and get it done, so I might as well do it now. And I could have actually done a better job and taken it all apart, but you know, it's solid, it's gonna hold, and you know, if I don't like it, I can always change it back, but I have a feeling that this is gonna be just fine. You can kind of see in there, well, could have saw better. I've got plenty of room now for that fan clutch. So, really, it could be a lot easier mod if you just take the radiator out. If you're doing a radiator swap and you want to put a 3-core in, then you could just do this mod. Oh, and then I cut and hacked this right here because my lid hits all the time. It's annoying, but of course it's going to hit even worse whenever you pull the radiator forward. It was getting closer to the, so I didn't have a choice but to hack. It will do the job. So on the mods, as far as what I was doing in here, you know, I showed you guys I removed the AC. This right here is actually the gas vapor. Goes back to your vapor box back in the back behind the Jeep, where your gas tank vapor go. Your gas tank line runs into it. It's like a vapor box of some sort. I have no freaking clue, but obviously you gotta have this. So it's just a little valve that opens and shuts. So it's gotta stay. I did remove the ABS lines, pulled them out, the electric ABS, pulled them out from right here, and got all that crap off. If it's something you want to do, you can do it. I think, you know, the most important thing is to keep your engine cool, especially on these Jeeps. So I think this will accomplish it. If you got any suggestions, any thoughts, or any negative opinions, put them at me, because I'll take criticism as well as, you know, good job done. So thanks a lot.